evening and welcome one and all to Bounce on a Wednesday night. If you missed us, we kicked off last Wednesday night, so just make sure if you're joining us for the first time that you put a note in your mental diary that it is Bounce on a Wednesday night for season 2014. All the boys are back, Danny Frawley, Alistair Lynch and Andrew Gaze. Great to see them firing and
Thank
fit,
you, Chief.
Healthy and happy except for Spud. We'll get to that in just a moment. But you know what I love about our show, gentlemen, is the fact that we're very blue-collar, salt-of-the-earth people.
Yeah.
Well, Spud, I believe that one of us is getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, it can't be me, obviously.
Let me just say this. It's not you and it's not me and it's not Gazy.
No.
not
Lynchy.
Wouldn't be me.
Lynchy.
What have I done?
You talk about your salt-of-the-earth people, just take a look at one Alistair Lynch and what he's been doing.
Give us a wave, Lynchy. That's you on that show on Sunday night. Come on, get up.
It's not going to get up.
It's going to get up. Give us a wave, Lynchy. It's not my car. It's jammed.
It is jammed.
Been involved in Aussie rules all my life.
Working for Fox Footy means I get to share my passion for the game with the public every week. Luckily for me, I don't have to spend too much time in my car as my office, home and footy team are all close by.
It certainly makes my life a lot easier.
Doesn't spend too much time in his car, but when he does, parks it on a busy street, puts the TV on and sits back with the top off in his convertible Merc.
And then just had a look at the Gabba there, and I won 3 flags there, mate. If you're an Aussie pole, you'd lick yourself.
Oh, yeah,
What's going on?
What is going on?
Didn't we find any fat blokes to bag you about in the first 10 minutes of the show?
Gaze, it's been a good week for you?
It's been a great week, Chief.
Happy to hear it. No, I'm not going to.
No.
Because we need to get to the crux of the opening here, and that is the fact that there's been an attack on one of our own. And let's be brutally honest, nobody attacks one of our own. That's our job. But it seems there has been a public campaign against one Danny Frawley. These are some of the articles that have appeared by certain football scribes questioning your role as CEO of the Coaches Association, Spud. How are you handling that?
Look, it's just part of the, you have a look at the article, it's part of the territory. AFL industry, as we know, they're people's opinions, and you've got to accept that. You just cop a few bullets, but it's fair to say that I'm probably knocked me off the axis a little bit. You got to take it personally now and again, but then we're trying to move on.
What did it knock you off?
Your axis.
Well, they said axie. I mean,
I didn't then,
did
but
say
I
axie, didn't
I
they?
corrected myself.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
So you have been a little bit flat, haven't you?
A bit flat.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yep.
We look after our own here at Bounce.
Good.
I mean, if there's going to be any sledging, it'll come from us. And when someone needs a
you
lift,
guys as well.
we're the ones that give it to them. This bloke sitting on my left is an absolute star. We all know it. You all know it at home. But just to remind him, because he's the one that needs the reminder, this is our Spud.
Cowie, away to Frawley. Frawley from 20 metres out.
That's cheating, making me laugh, Spud.
Stop! It's hammer time!
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
You got me back.
Tell me this bloke's not a star. We want you up on a bounce.
I am about, especially after seeing that. As I said, I walked in here, didn't have to open the door to walk in, but I'm up and about now, boys. Well done.
You are a born entertainer. Hey, we've been getting
No
plenty
worries.
of feedback
Good work.
about the show as well. Got a very interesting tweet last week because we have been talking about head measuring. This one is from Sue Jenner. The show should now be the Bonds because we are talking about heads and measuring heads. So, Sue, this is for you. Look what we're going to do. There goes the U in bounce. We are now the Bonds. It's Bonds on a Wednesday night.
Might as well.
And if you're not quite sure what we're talking about and you did happen to miss last week, this is exactly what Sue's referring to. Do it in the same spot for both of them.
Same spot. This is fair measurement. Comfortable 62.5.
62.5 for Spud.
Get it down lower. Go away.
Clip him if he
Go
did.
away.
No, fair's fair.
Go away. Down lower.
Got the wrong
What have we
side.
got?
60.5.
No way!
You want to ring him that way.
Didn't make Gazy happy.
I thought he got my ear the other night.
did.
No.
I reckon that
No,
pretty
it
much
was-
another centimetre on it, there's no doubt.
Here's the thing.
my
What you just saw is what happened on air. And that was very late in the show. And when we officially signed off as being on air and went off air, the measuring didn't stop. And let's find out exactly how it continued.
So is that ear missing again?
Sorry, mate.
Can you take the box away from
Yeah, well, you had this ear
thought you
inside the
did.
tape measure,
Yeah, no,
which makes your
I-
head bigger, Spud.
It's a line ball.
61 and a half.
61 and a half. Now go back and do Gazies again. We just need to double check.
Just be honest. Don't be cheating.
No, we're not cheating. No,
No,
we're not
good.
cheating. 60 and a half.
60 and a half. Okay, now.
Yeah, no, that's
now.
fine.
Do it now.
Oh,
Do it now.
Get it right across that brow there.
Yeah.
Mate, you're on my eyebrow. Just go up a little bit.
Right on your eyebrow gets it to 62.
No.
That's right on the
No. Look at this.
Get it down on the eyebrow. There.
Yeah, on the
What do we
eyebrow.
got?
64.
62.
We do the measurement again next week.
Nah.
Both ways.
No.
Do it that way.
No.
And then say the only way.
You're just sketching me up. I won the first three, and you had to do it 4 times in order to get it right. I'm not going to cop that. They did it 4 times legitimately, and I won. And so he just goes, "Oh, let's just play again." Nah.
Good work, mate.
Now,
You're exactly right.
I promise you that wasn't staged. They just kept the cameras running.
I didn't know that was-
There's a lot of competitiveness going on
Absolutely.
here.
And we did raise the thought of maybe rolling out Archimedes' theory, the water displacement theory, and we're looking to further look into that. But we
You
did
tweeted for help, didn't you?
We looked for help, and we've got a bit of feedback here. This is probably not quite what we were thinking. We were probably thinking.
Did he just slam his head in the bucket?
He did. We probably thought more thinking a medical institute or a university to give us some sort of feedback about a machine that hopefully can actually give us the mass of your head. So if you know where we can find that machine or know where we can find that institute, send it in to us because we've got to put these blokes in. We've got to find out.
Well, we do have to get to the bottom of it. There's no doubt in that. As we saw, it was 62 all. You've
No,
got to
no,
take
no,
that
no,
hey,
no.
but
No,
no doubt,
you're
we,
bigger.
We can't use this water displacement theory. Have a look at Jason Dunstall a couple of years ago.
This isn't fair.
What's this? What's this?
That'd be about right.
I'm not quite sure
That's about right.
what a building falling over has got to do with measuring the water displacement of a head.
The water
Well,
just
It is.
caused a quake.
But it's fair to say our Bonce not going to fit in the thimble.
No,
so that's
that's-
out.
Hang on a minute. If it's phlegm.
Move on. A little nip. I don't think that one's going to work.
No.
7 ounce? Definitely not.
probably
The
not.
bucket, put it on Lynch's that fit you. Maybe that one works. No, Gazy?
Mate, well, what about your head? Oh, so what?
No.
Oh, so
no, it
water
doesn't fit.
just going to defy gravity, is it? Or just the water?
I reckon we need to have a look at, maybe a water tank. Let's have a look at that. Maybe we'll put our bonces in that. Let's have a look. No, it's got a roof on it. That's not going to work. Because your head has got that big. This
No, no.
after you, mate,
How's it my head when yours is
you have
bigger?
got an eclipse of the sun, my good friend. Have a look at this. You leaving the show last Wednesday night. Mate, daylight savings hasn't arrived yet. That was 7:30 last week.
Your head's bigger, Spud. We've measured it already.
Well, water displacement test.
We have to get to the bottom of
We
it
will.
so we can move on.
We will get to the bottom
Yeah.
of it, but we do also need to move on. Last week, we didn't have much footy to talk about. In actual fact, we got nearly to the end of the show without even looking at any AFL. So let's find out what the boys thought of week one, or the first half of week one. Did you find some moments that caught your attention?
Look, I did. My big moment, we all know the golden fist and spoiling, but Phil Davis did a magnificent spoil. I don't have to say too much. Have a listen to the commentators.
That rule still applies. You cannot use the hands in the back. You can use your body a lot more to work the players, but you cannot put them in the back.
Franklin, Davis, big stretch, good fist.
That's an amazing spoil. Gets around in front of him and punches it with the right fist.
Yeah, Spud will have something to say about that spoil.
Now, Spud,
Now,
don't start using us to make your
Wayne
point.
Russell, Lynchy and Jace now, the education is starting to get into these thick skulls, so well done, boys.
What do you see, Lynchy?
Well, I could have gone to the Giants game as well, but I thought I'd go to Metricon Stadium, and it was the GWS. The Gold Coast Suns got off to a flyer, and I thought Jager O'Meara's goal from the boundary line, it was a bit of a soft tackling attempt, but he gets around, and this guy is an absolute gun. And just to get the Suns off to a flyer, and he slotted that one through from the boundary line. I think that's a sign of things to come for this team and that young man there in his second year.
Very
Right,
handy.
have a look at the biceps. Actually, can we go back to have a look at that vision again? Talk about the guys getting in the gym for the first couple of times over pre-seasons. This guy's biceps, have a look how
The old beach
They
weights.
are big
Oh,
guns.
have a
Gold
look at-
Coast Beach.
We might have to look at seeing who's got bigger weights biceps than that man. Hey?
Very
Second
good.
year player.
Second-year player.
Scary. Drewy?
I'm going to go with the superstar. Any doubt about who the best player in the competition is, then if game one's any indication, Gary Ablett's going to be maintaining that mantle. And the control and the vision he has, have a look at this. He goes to kick it, but he's just a little bit of a fumble there, but decision making. He was thinking about hoisting it, just giving it the big barrel, but then the touch and the finesse that he's able to implement there, just a delight to watch. And he is an absolute superstar.
What about you, Jace? What was your
Well,
highlight?
I'm not sure if mine's quite as exciting as the one that Gazy's found, but I'll tell you what I did notice. There's a young bloke that plays for the Fremantle Dockers that has had to stew on it for the entire off-season about some horror misses in the grand final. I refer to Hayden Ballantyne. He was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Everyone's taken pot shots at him. What about the mental strength of this young man to come back in his first game and just help destroy Collingwood? And a couple of his snaps were first class. He reacted instinctively. He pulled the trigger when he needed to. And whether you love him or hate him, and he is one of those that can polarise opinions at times, you've got to take your hat off to that fella.
Yeah, he was
Although
outstanding.
he was a superstar. Hey, tomorrow night, first Thursday night game of the season down at Simmons Stadium. It's Geelong taking on the Crows. We've seen Port come out in outstanding fashion. Can the Crows match them?
Well, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, obviously the Crows, a lot of injuries last year, and obviously a big week for Adelaide. They were magnificent last week for the whole right reason of the AFL industry. Geelong, we know they're a good team. Without Chapman and Corey Enright in the prelim final last year, they could have won the flag. So they're still about. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think Geelong should win it. They've got some talent out of the side, as you said, and a few injuries, but I think it'll be a great game. But the Cats for mine.
Haven't you normally got some numbers to back up?
Well, I
what you're
have.
saying?
I've got to back them up. So I'm tossing a coin at the moment when you have a look at these key stats, because Geelong have won 49 out of their last 52 at Simmons. Last 3 defeats against Freo, Sydney and Port. Geelong will be missing 3 out of their top 5 goal kickers, so that's a big loss. Motlop injured, Christensen and Pod's only gone to Adelaide. So the J-Pod factor, his first 4 games at Simmons back in 2010, he kicked 20 goals, 4 bags of 5. So he's now in the opposition. That could be the telling factor.
Big stats. Big stats.
Beat that, Gazy. Beat that.
Usually this is my territory. They're pretty ordinary sort of line and
return,
length
really?
stuff. Well, here's one for you. Did you know that of all the players that had the surname Barry, 57% of them have played for Sydney?
Tumbleweed. Where's the...
How many of them all up are there?
There's about 9. I know there's Leo, Ron. There's 57%, whatever that is. There's 13 or something.
Gazy, why don't you go with that stat about the young teams? Maybe that one's a better one.
Oh, the young teams, first time ever in the history of the competition that the 4 youngest teams have actually. You're stitching me up here.
Where did you get the stat from?
Yeah, have actually beaten the 4 oldest team in the competition.
Where did you get that from?
You actually.
Yeah, and I got it from a colleague, and the colleague got it from the daughter. So anyway, you've got it now.
Thank you, gents. It's time to get to the Golden Fist. This has become an institution, not just of this show, but of the AFL itself. It's brought to us by the great people at Cbus Super. If you want super that's simple and easy to manage, Cbus Super is the one for you. Now, Spud, this is big. I mean, this is growing. Everyone's talking about it.
Well, it is big, and we know it's growing. And a lot of people said last week, well, when was the presentation to the first time dual winners of the Golden Fist Award in Brian Lake and Josh Gibson last year? We saw Gibbo crying and Lake getting the Norm Smith medal, premiership medals. None of that. Where's Spud? Well, I had to get 2. That's why I was late. So the presentation happened during the week. Have a look at this.
Good to have you down here for a coffee, mate. Did you bring your little friends?
Of course I did. First invite here, so I thought I'll got to show you my medals here.
My case probably isn't as good as yours, but I've still got the 2 medals in there.
Yeah, so I like that one. Just seems a little bit bigger, where the Norm's just a little bit small. There's no writing on the back.
True.
A little bit plain.
We did get shafted though. There was one award we did win. It would have been nice to have the 3 trophies all together, 2 medals in them.
Hey, Rose, how are we going? What's happening?
You ever seen one of these, mate? Premiership?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, did you think you won on?
Look, well, in the history of the Golden Fist, the first time was a draw, and that's why I've been so late, because I had to get another replica down at Bungaroo. So, Brian, there's your very own. Another Norm Smith, the premiership medal.
Oh, Jesus.
Inaugural tied Golden Fist winners. So, talk us through it. Where does this
Everyone's
fit?
been asking to see the fist.
Okay, so where does it?
Oh, it's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle. It's what we play for.
You've been emotional.
That's what the box is for. Just sit that on top.
To think that I've actually got the Fox Footy Golden Fist in my hand.
Can we fist each
Don't
other?
cry. Don't cry.
Fist me. Fist me. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Any preparation to go back to back in the Golden Fist? Forget the Premiership, forget the Norm Smith. Can you go back to back, Brian?
Just like that. Back to back.
Exactly. Can you?
It's a
Is that your goal this
That's
year?
our goal. That's what we've worked on the whole off-season.
Will you try and compete and just be an outright winner?
It is a team game.
We've worked out that a team duo, 2 fists is better than 1.
Gibbo's been waiting years for a player like me to come, and vice versa.
So, Brian,
I want a guy that can just punch the ball into the next week.
So I want to see, when you have a chance to mark the ball, what are we going to do?
Oh, we're punching.
Exactly right. 12 rows in.
Everyone knows that. That's what I do. I just spoil.
I know
Why use 2 hands when you
Don't
can use
intercept
1?
marks. You know the KPIs here.
Coach wants intercept marks, defenders want spoils. Imagine if this was your house next year and they're both yours. And I've got the same.
Imagine 2 fists.
We've got 2 fists. Like maybe next year.
Do you reckon maybe if we do get the next one, we can have the button on it?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the button. Yeah.
All right, I'll guarantee if you both win next year, I'll get the button on.
Thanks, thank you so much. I've waited so long for this. Oh, cheers. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Fist me.
This is getting out of hand now, Spud. I'm genuinely concerned. There's a cockiness developing amongst defenders that's completely unwarranted.
It's not unwarranted.
The only
at all.
good part of that was when he said to you, have you seen this? It's a premiership medal. He sledged you.
It did look good, by the way, but I tell you what, 2 outstanding defenders. The Schoolhouse Cafe, Josh Gibson's got a part owner of that in the corner of St Andrews Court and Church Street down at Brighton. Magnificent coffees there. So well done, boys. And that leads me into some of the best spoils and Golden Fist efforts of the weekend. Let's start. Even the crowd are getting involved. As we see here, a Collingwood fan, bang! Just magnificent. You get on, fans. Don't mark the ball. Here we've got Nick Maxwell. Look at it. 12 rows in, exactly. You'll get a lot of airplay for that. Michael Johnson's one-handed a spur. Have a look at this, Skazy.
That's a spoil.
No, it's a spoil down. It's an assist. And Lumumba, have a look at this. Bang! Straight over the fence for that one. And Harry Cunningham. Bing! Oh, it's just, look, I'm just chingled down my spine here. And Tom Nichols, have a look at this. The perfect spoil. That is the perfect, and you wouldn't agree, Lynchy.
Yep.
12 metres out to get it over the fence is absolutely magnificent.
Didn't go 12 rows back, though. That was the only problem.
No, mate, he was 12
All right,
metres
so that's
out.
the first half of round 1. We move on.
What about the votes?
You can't give votes.
Yes, I can.
Only half the
through.
round is over.
Halfway through, Spud.
I've had a look at the minutes of the Constitution and it says I can do what I like, and there was a round of football.
Half a round.
Hey, it's my votes, my show. The Constitution says I'm giving votes to 3 defenders this week. I'm going to start with Stephen May, world record spoils. Right,
World record?
Best
well,
game
not-
ever, set a
for
world
him.
record and only got 1 vote.
No, for him and his club. Magnificent spoiling defence. We saw Phil Davis. What a magnificent role he played on Lance Franklin, and that is just... and Luke McFarlane, 3 votes. We saw it on Friday night. Just started the ball rolling from the first game of the season. Defenders, BOG, 3 Brownlow votes. Forget that. 3 votes in the Golden Fist Award.
Gee, you're harsh on Travis Cloke. He was
Have a
one
look at
against.
that. Look.
He was 1 against 4.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Travis
the
Cloke,
kick sat on his head.
goalless, probably one of the few times in his illustrious
This
career.
kick went over his head.
Look at that.
his
That's a
fault.
magnificent piece of bodywork there from McFarlane. Have a look at this one
1
again.
against 2.
Have a look. Bang! Oh, I'll tell you what, it brings a tear to my eye.
Spud, that is the great stitch up of Travis Cloke.
Now, I'll
ever.
tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to go to the leaderboard. So let's have a look.
There's only 1 round of votes. You can't have a leaderboard.
We just saw it.
Just got it.
We just saw the leaderboard.
Yeah, we can still have a look at it, though.
That was the only votes given.
All right, well, there's the leaderboard. No, there it is. There's the leaderboard. Look, McFarlane, Davis and May.
You've lost the plot.
No, I haven't. And look, to reward defenders at all levels of the game, that's right, Cbus Super is taking the Golden Fist to local footy clubs around Australia. Register now on Cbus Super, goldenfist.com.au to get your free replica of the Golden Fist trophy. There's only 1 limited number available. Registered teams will also have the chance to win a visit from me. That's right, lucky you. Later in the season, simply tell us, 25 words or less, how you'll be awarded the Golden Fist trophy for your team this season, which I'm so excited, I forgot to do this for Luke McFarlane. Good on you, boys.
You're on fire.
Nice. Now, what about
You're
Rory
on fire.
Sloane?
What about him?
Have a look at this. His tweet. The tweet on the weekend was absolutely incredible. Good to see a few of the Upway boys. I was up there last week, including my brother. Can you pick him? Well, I reckon Rory Sloane. Can you pick his brother? Far right. Yeah, he's the far right there. But this Yeah, there he is. Yeah. The far right, Rory Sloan.
Doesn't look anything like him.
Well, that's him from Upway. But look, this was going to go in Turn It Up. But that's Andrew Gazer's segment, so we'll leave that to Gazy. I'm not sure whether this is a positive or a negative. I'm still confused. But Mark Rasciuto, that's right, 8 times All-Australian, Brownlow medalist, Premiership player for Adelaide Crows, on Friday night, give a Golden Fist nominee to avoid. Let's have a look. I'm a little bit confused.
Roo, are you ready for the Cbus Super Golden Fist nomination, the first for the year?
Yeah, it's with great honour that I get to give the votes for the Golden Fist. And look, it's not predictable, the Golden Fist. It's we've seen the All-Australian full forward and full back in Matty Pavlich go back and do the double fister. He's sick of being a key forward. He wanted to go back and be a bit of a hack defender. So we thought that he's suitable for the Golden Fist nomination.
That is going to throw Danny Frawley into complete disarray, but you'll see that, of course.
Mark the ball.
On bounce.
That's what they do, the defenders.
8:30, Wednesday night.
Now, Roo, a couple of things. We'll have to get the tape measure on your head. Have you been stung by a couple of bees? I'm not sure. But more importantly, hey, get out of my territory, mate. It's all right to get a couple of cheap possessions out the back and, a couple out here. Defenders defend. I think it's fantastic they're doing it, but just let the experts do the Golden Fist award, I would have thought.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought they should be pushing into your domain either.
No,
we need to take a break on Bounce, or Bonce as we're calling it tonight. We have got round one of the richest AFL quiz in the world coming up next.
What is the 77th element on the periodic table?
Oh, turn it up.
Hey, keep your own stuff to yourself.
A, osmium. B, iridium. C, platinum. D, gold.
I got platinum, Jared.
Not correct. The correct answer is B, iridium. Which film, this is for 30 points, question 4. Which film won the Best Picture Oscar in 2014?
Oh, it was on a week ago! Just no!
A, 12 Years a Slave. B, The Wolf of Wall Street. C, Gravity. D, Her.
The Wolf of Wall Street!
No, he's got it wrong.
You're
That is incorrect, Danny. It's 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, no.
You bozo! Yes, we had a trial run last week. This year on Bounce, we have introduced the world's richest quiz for AFL players. So each week we're going to get a couple of AFL players that come in and they'll go right through, and the two highest scores at the end of the season will battle it out for the grand prize. Now, Jared Waitley makes a fantastic quiz master, and we kicked it off with a couple of ruckmen. One of them, Spud, I think, has been described by Coach Rodney Eade at the Western Bulldogs as the dumbest smart man he's ever met. I speak of Will Minson, and also former Saint, now Hawthorn ruckman Ben McAvoy. Let's go to round one of the world's richest AFL quiz with our quiz master, Jared Waitley.
This might be a stupid question.
During what months of pregnancy does a woman begin to look pregnant?
September.
Name a yellow fruit.
Orange. Hungry? That's a country?
Intellectual gravitas. That's what's been missing from After the Bounce. And to that end, I give you the world's richest AFL quiz. In our quest to crown football's mastermind, we pit two contestants against each other for the time-honoured prize of the Batocchi ham. Earlier, both contestants completed a common set of 10 questions in a rapid-fire 60 seconds. That result, out of a possible 100 points, comprises the qualification score. Now, before your very eyes, each will answer a unique set of 5 questions worth a further 100 points. The total score will determine not only who walks away with the ham, but will place each player on the season-long leaderboard ahead of an end-of-year quiz-off to crown the world's smartest AFL player. Questions have been prepared by leading tertiary and higher education institute Holmesglen, and our government scrutineers are in position. Now let's meet our first two contestants. Out to bust the myth that all ruckmen are dumb, welcome the Western Bulldogs' Will Minson and Hawthorn recruit Ben McAvoy. Ben, if you wouldn't mind, take your place in the soundproof booth. It's our little homage to every quiz show that you might ever have seen in the 70s. So Will Minson's going to lead us off as contestant 1, the All-Australian ruckman, but that doesn't quite matter so much now. Aged 28, educational qualifications and engineering degree, favourite subjects anything German, jazz and food, and a qualifying score of 10. Question 1, Will, is for 6 points. Which original member of the Rolling Stones was found dead in his swimming pool on July 3, 1969? A. Brian Jones, B. Jeff Buckley, C. Dennis Wilson, D. Hart Crane.
No idea whatsoever. C. Dennis Wilson.
Locking in Dennis Wilson. Correct answer was Brian Jones. Question 2 is for 9 points. Who won the 2008 Goal of the Year? Eddie Betts, Brendan Favola, Leon Davis, or Cyril Rioli?
I'll say A, Eddie Betts.
Eddie Betts? It was in fact Leon Davis. C.
It's all about the forwards.
Looking to add to the 10 points here, Will. Question 3 is for 15 points. John Wayne won his only Academy Award for which film? A. The Green Beret, B. Stagecoach, C. The Longest Day, D. True Grit.
Funny quiz, this one. I'll say B, Stagecoach.
Stagecoach, we're locking in. It is True Grit. Will, it's a run of outs. Question 4 is for 30 points. In which year were President Ronald Reagan and Pope John Paul II shot? A. 1980, B. 1981, C. 1982, D. 1983.
D, 1983, Jared. These have all been good.
It was, in fact, 1981. OK, 1 hit left. It's a good hit, though. Question 5 is for 40 points. Which playwright is quoted with saying on his deathbed, "It is really more than the English could stand if another century began and I were still alive"? A. Roddy Doyle, B. Oscar Wilde, C. Robert Burns, D. James Joyce.
I'll say B, Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde is correct. Well done at the last, and that is a big hit. 50 points. It gives Ben something to chase.
Thank you.
Switch places, would you, lads? So 50 out of 200 for Will Minson, and Ben McAvoy has a head start, but still a little bit of work to do. Ben was headhunted by the Hawks between seasons after 91 games with St Kilda, but again, that is not the purpose of today. The tale of the tape, a 24-year-old, a Bachelor of Business, favourite subject farming, and a qualifying score of 36. Ben, a little insight. Do you think they were a smarter group at St Kilda or over at the Hawks?
I think there's a few more ruckmen at the Hawks, so maybe after this we'll be able to determine whether that means smarter or not.
You've been thrust forward. You're chasing 50 points here. Let's begin. Question 1 for you is worth 6 points. Who was the original Beatles drummer before Ringo Starr? A. Cozy Powell, B. Pete Best, C. William Chick Webb, D. Warren Baby Dodds.
I can fairly say I don't have a clue. We'll go for C. William Chick Webb.
It was, in fact, Pete Best. Question 2 is for 9 points. Who was the All-Australian captain in 2009? Nick Revolt, Jonathan Brown, Chris Judd, or Gary Ablett Jr.?
I suppose I should know that one. A or D, I think I'll go A, Nick Revolt.
You know your teammate well. So, Ben, that moves you within striking distance of the 50 points required. Question 3 is for 15 points. Who was discovered on Skull Island? A. The Phantom, B. Batman, C. Wonder Woman, D. King Kong.
I haven't seen the movie King Kong. That might have helped me. I want to go for the Phantom. A.
King Kong definitely would have helped you if you'd seen it, or even the stage show.
Well done, Chief. That was you, King Kong.
Was it?
Yep.
Big ape. Did he live on Skull Island?
Exactly.
Is that where they got him from?
No, you.
Are we bringing ape jokes in again
No,
with
we're
this?
not.
Still work to do. Question 4. It gets a little tighter still. This is worth 30 points. How old was John Lennon when he was murdered outside the Dakota Building in New York in 1980? A, 38, B, 40, C, 42, D, 44.
I'm going to go with C, 42.
Was John Lennon 42? No, in fact, he was 40. So it comes down to the final question, and for everyone in the room, that creates a rich level of tension. A win for the Batocki Ham, a loss, and Will walks away with the cold cuts.
Come on, Benny.
Here's the decisive question. 40 points at stake here. According to Shakespeare, who was from his mother's womb untimely ripped? A, Hamlet, B, King Lear, C, Macduff, D, Othello.
Not good with my Shakespeare. I'll go for A, Hamlet.
For the win, Hamlet? No, it was Macduff. So that means that Will Minson is going to walk away with the first Batocki Ham. Will, what will you do with your ham?
I'm going to eat it as soon as I get home, Jared. Can't wait.
I hope you enjoyed it. Now we'll wait and see how 50 holds up against your contemporaries across the season. 50 and 45, the first instalment. We'll see if someone can do better the next time on the world's richest AFL quiz.
Wow, that was exciting. I'm not sure about the 4 Nuffy adjudicators on the side, but Will Minson has won the very first quiz on Bounce. He leads the pack at the moment on 50 points, and he takes home the Batocki Ham, Spud.
Yeah, what about the Chief and Ben McAvoy? Instant love between you and Ben.
But so the Ruckmen are in front. They're leading away.
Yes.
That's good.
But what about Ben McAvoy? He doesn't go away empty-handed. Chemist Warehouse have donated a magnificent voucher there. Whatever you get there, men's shaving cream. But what I've picked out here is the Swiss Memory Focus. Okay, for all those players out there who want to get on the quiz.
Makes you smarter.
Well, we'll soon find out.
All right, we need to take a break. What are you, Spud? Spud, you can't. Oh, wow. We've got Turn It Up. We've got Coach Killers coming. Spud's OD'd on memory tablets. Oh, wow.
No, Spud, you can't do that.
Welcome back to Bounce on a Wednesday night. We have, it's just about time to get in.
Theorem. In a right-handed triangle, the areas of the square and the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the area of the squares of other two sides. Newton's law of gravity, that's right. Any two bodies in the universe that can attract each other with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and universally proportional to the square of the distance between them.
Spud, how many of those memory tablets did you take?
All of them. And as you can see, I've just turned into Professor Julius Sumner Miller. That's amazing.
Well, you said more Urkel than Professor Julius Sumner Miller, I think. We have got an outstanding Turn It Up this week. Andrew Gaze has poured over things from all sports around the globe, and I tell you, this is going to be a highlight. Take it away, Drewy.
You won't put it through? Of course he will. How's that?
Yes, g'day you dirty bludgers, and this week we're going to start off with something that's dear to most men's hearts, and that's Playboy models. But perhaps they're not the sharpest tools in the shed, because we had one of the Playboy models a couple of years ago get involved in a promotional activity where they put the T in the cleavage and hit the T off there. Now, this is not, she's not having some sort of a wise crack here, but what she's doing is she's now suing, 2 years later, suing for $500,000. Now, a bit of a divot might have been taken out there a little bit, but 2 years later, $500,000 for that. Please, turn it up. Now, over in the soccer's been going on over there in the Bundesliga, and sometimes when you're out there and you're desperate to get the ball, cameraman can get in the way occasionally. I'm not sure this cameraman handled it the way our Fox Footy cameraman would have handled it.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Andreas Beck accidentally takes out a cameraman in Hoffenheim's game against Mainz 05. The camera operator was briefly knocked unconscious. His day at the office was cut short. He suffered a concussion and was taken to hospital for observation. We wish him a speedy recovery.
Get up! You got to get into it. Fire, bounce back up. We want to see the game.
The game's still going on.
Correct. Get up.
Carry
It's
the
the vision.
team.
Turn it up. Hey, now, Spud, I found something that you will excel at. This was in the Punjab Youth Festival in Pakistan, and where they like to break some interesting world records. Well, this is the walnut cracking competition. Have a look at this for a forehead.
You're kidding me.
The previous record for 1 minute was 50. This bloke here, little Pakistani bloke, 155 walnuts in 1 minute. Now, you really would have to be nuts to have a crack at this, wouldn't you?
Come on.
But he did it. 100, and with that melon of yours, that is the challenge for you, my friend. 158. There is a rumour, though, that apparently next year, and this is true, coconuts. He's going to have a crack at the coconuts, but
No, you'd break
turn it up.
six of those at once, let alone one.
Hey, Spud, can you do me a favour and just take the goggles off, mate? You look like the world's biggest nerd.
Is that better?
Andreas Everett. Now, we all know when you start a new team, a new environment, new club,
You're
fresh
excited.
beginning. You are excited,
You're up and about.
you're up and about, and your arousal levels can sometimes...
Oh, what?
No, that's just...
The arousal...
That's the shorts.
That's just the short.
The arousal levels can sometimes get a little bit too much, and
Mouth guard.
sometimes-
Probably the mouth guard.
well, maybe
That's the shorts.
maybe it's
the zipper.
a Mars bar or something.
It's the zipper,
But
guys.
Andreas, turn it up, Andreas.
On the shorts.
I don't know what it is.
Come on, Case.
Pull yourself together.
While we're talking about a bit of genitalia, Daniel Worrell, he's a cricketer that was out there. He plays for South Australia, and he was in the Futures League game. And ball tampering's been a big issue in cricket lately.
Well, it's a good shot. What about
And this
it?
is in Victoria. Well, he just thought, I think...
Where going?
this go?
I think that what
Casey's gone.
What I think he was doing was just trying to talk some strategy on the field, and it came out like that. And the officials didn't see that, but turn it up, Daniel. Let's we can't have that type of behaviour going on.
You
Now,
use bat and balls in cricket?
that's right, don't you, Chief? No, that's not. Hey, turn it up. That's not appropriate.
Get serious now.
Now, Nick Cummings, he plays for the Western Force in the rugby, and he was out there in post-game. They had a win, and he started to self-proclaim his own nickname.
Finally, Honey Badger, your nickname. Can you explain why?
The badge. Look, long story short, basically, there's a documentary on National Geographic or Animal Planet, one of them Fox setups, and I watched this thing, and this honey badger was going toe to toe with a male lion, and I managed to. It was underneath him, but underdog, obviously, but he on his back, clawing away, 1-2, and then, the big fella got his canasters clawed off, and he trotted off around the corner and fell over, and the badger gets back up, and I thought, what an animal, that's impressive.
Now, there you have it, our Nick Cummings. We're very funny, man. That's the sort of interview we love to hear, but
What's his nickname?
it's not up to you to give yourself your own nickname.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly right.
What would you suggest, Chief?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, if that happened at an AFL club, the team, probably led by the leadership group, would say,
leading
mate, you don't make up your nickname, we do, and from now on, you're flog nuts. That's all you're copping for that, because that's rubbish.
I agree.
He is kidding himself, isn't he?
You can't talk about yourself.
I wouldn't have thought you'd give yourself your own nickname, so I'd turn it up on
That
him.
bigger turn it up on him. Come on.
Turn it up!
That's it.
Because we won't allow that. I probably wouldn't have gone that line, but I like the way the Chief delivered it. Now, lastly, we're going to finish off with Mick Malthouse, who this was before the game, a couple of days before the first game, and we wanted to know what was going to unfold, but clearly he was a little bit on edge at his press conference when just interrupted by someone that was a bit peckish, wanted to eat. This is how he handled it.
No, that's a good question, and it's one of those ones where you could probably get away with That's out there. Okay? Just for everyone else. So, I'll repeat it.
See, there he is again. Now, what happened? He's a fan of the chicken sandwich, Spud, and the bloke come in with the mayonnaise and beef, and he said, that's enough of that. He said, listen, you ever bring chicken back in here? It's just bigger and better things ahead, They didn't do all that well there,
So who are you turning it up on?
I'm turning it up on Mick. In fact, Mick went back after the game, which they weren't real good at, and he had a look at it. And you know what he said? This is what he said about that performance at the press conference.
Turn it up.
He wasn't happy with his own work based on what the boys delivered in the first round.
Very good, Gazy. I thought that was very good. And actually, you're just really growing. Obviously, segment's growing. But the Twitter world went off last week, and it was from Brighton Grammar. The guys down there at the study hall in grade 12, have a look at this photo, have put up their favourite TV star in the study hall, and here it is. Year 12 study, and they've got a big picture of Gazy. You look like you're 75, though. And
it's like a Joker out of Batman.
Yeah,
Who said he had a little
pointy eyebrows or something on there?
Where'd your body go then? Morphed into your head.
So now you're going to pick... You've done away with the head, now it's the body. That's the next phase.
Your bloody head.
Gee, tell you what, I wish you had have gone with the cook on Mick that you're planning pre-show, and you softened it a little bit once you went on air. I expect you to stand up and be a bit harder than that,
No,
Gazy.
just his first
All
round.
right, speaking of being hard, this man pulls no punches. Again, it's like the Golden Fist. It's been his domain for years. If you mess up on field, if you aggravate the coach and cause headaches for him when he's got a tough enough job as it is, you will be exposed in Coach Killers.
Yes, as we know, we're halfway through round one. We had 4 games, and these two really hurt because they're fellow defenders.
You're turning on your own.
Jared McVeigh, look, he's kicking in. Now, it's fair to say it's a closed skill because you've got time and space. Now's not the time, 2 goals down, to have a look-away kick with 16 players in a zone and then try and square one into the middle, right? Ending in a goal to Cameron. Troy Chaplin just tries a little daisy cutter over the top, just no effort in it, no precision. Swallow takes an easy mark and kicks a goal. Charlie, come on, get it through there and get it long and wide. If you're going to make a mistake, long and wide. You know the defence motto there. Now, the game on Friday night, Nick Maxwell and Beams, we need connection. You need connection between your on-ballers and your defenders. You see Nick Maxwell here, Beams starts to run away. We know Fremantle love the frontal pressure and go at the player, so you need numbers in support. Nick's looking around for support. Work together, right? Shepherd, tackle, all those little things. Don't get forward of the ball. Get back and help your teammate.
You're potting Beams. If Maxwell gives the handball over the top, he's away.
Yeah, he's 2 on 1. Dane Beams
he got the ball.
Give
it. Sucked in 2 defenders.
Well, he
Beams
could have,
is away.
all right, in your defence, he could have hit it over the
for
top.
creating space.
He could have hit it over the top, but it was 2 on 1. All right. So I'll give you a little win there, just a little
for
one.
defenders and potting midfielders. That's all.
Now I'm going to the Newcastle team here in the soccer. Next to I'm going to the round ball again. Bugatit is his name. Now have a look at this. Have a look at this for an effort.
It's in the A-League.
Now have a look.
50. That's a coach killer.
It doesn't matter where it is.
Talking nasty.
Now that's early in the game. His confidence was absolutely shattered. Have a look at this. What he said.
He's had a bad night.
No, what he said. He missed the first one. He said, you know what? I'm just going to have a real stinker. And I really want to make sure I get rid of all me blues in the one game. And next week, I'll focus on the positives.
I'm still coming to grips with your statement about Troy Chaplin trying to kick a daisy cutter over the top. I'm not quite sure how they go together. But we need to take a break while we get ourselves together. Plenty more still to come, including Nerdlinger here.
He's so deliberate, isn't he? As Tom said, he rarely misses. Has a lot of shots from within about this range. And there you go. All of that. Tom, we did him in the last time, but...
No, you nailed this, Bruce.
No, you'd think so. The percentages over the years say that he doesn't miss from here very often. There you go again. So that's remarkable.
The good old commentator's curse. It rarely misses, let me tell you. Hey, interesting watching Shane Mumford run around for GWS. A fantastic win they had over the Swans. Didn't he introduce himself to a couple of former teammates, or at least one former teammate, and one that never became a teammate? So first up, he got the bloke that took his paycheck. That was Buddy Franklin. Decided, well, you better have a bit of turf here. And then the bloke that took his job as the number one ruckman, he said, you can have some turf too. A couple of nice body slams there from Big Mummy. Love how aggressive he is. He is absolutely brilliant, this young man. A few problems perhaps with the surface. It was a little bit greasy Friday night at Etihad Stadium. Fremantle Dockers, they had the game in complete control, but Lee Spur couldn't quite get his foot on this one. He pulls it back for the kick and it just goes out from under him.
It was good reflexes.
Did well to stay up. Did well to keep his balance. I thought it was a fantastic effort. Some great kicking skills on display again, but there's nothing better than when you kick a floater and it goes straight through the middle. Tom Mitchell did that for the Sydney Swans. You need to have a look at how this spins as it goes through. It's a reverse banana drop punt that went through. Daisy Thomas didn't have his kicking boots on, Spud.
He's only gone 35.
Yeah, he's not making the distance.
For a while, he'll be right.
Into the man on the mark.
Gee, that didn't get over the fence.
Yeah, not great. And Johnny Butcher, well, you don't need to say anything about this. Let's just throw it out of the hands and hope it hits the foot.
Throw the foot out.
It's got some work to do.
You actually put those on because you go at a goal kicking average of about 70%.
No, I don't, mate. I'm only 66. Plugger was 70 and he was the best going around. Hey, what about a little bit of hoi polloi going on up at Metricon Stadium? How are they travelling? Have a look at this. You know, you think of your meat pies at the footy and all that. They got the tables and chairs. What are they having, high tea in the afternoon or something?
I like it.
But you know what it reminded me of, Spud? You know what it reminded me of? A few seasons back, on this very show, you and I ventured out to Werribee Mansion and you got right into the spirit of the high tea steaks, didn't you? Do you remember this?
Yeah, that was
the salubrious surroundings at Werribee Mansion. I wonder what's in store today for yesterday's heroes, Jace. A bit of quail shooting maybe through the heather? Hopefully the croquet circuit is mown to the level it's desired today for yesterday's heroes. It's a jolly good morning for a bit of royal tennis. Maybe that will be our... Be a beautiful morning for a fox hunt through the briar. Tally-ho! Be a beautiful morning for a touch of fox hunting through the briar. Tally-ho!
Seriously,
That's outstanding.
You are born to entertain.
You are. It was very good. Well, that makes it. Actually, are you guys going to do yesterday's heroes? Because I mean, that sort of stuff is what made the show. Let's be serious.
We're too old and we're too broken down, Spud, aren't we?
Well,
you guys have got no idea the toll that it takes on your body to do it.
I think we need to see it back, and I think we need people to tweet in.
Easy for you guys
do you want these guys to do it to start with? And any suggestions? We'll get them out there. I think we need something they're going to entertain and certainly get hurt. Would be
well, we
very
do love
good.
your feedback, so tweet us at Fox Footy. Have we got any tweets that have come through? Boys?
Yes, actually, on the back of the Bonds tonight, this is one tweet that comes in. I live in far north Queensland in Mission Beach and Gazy's head is blocking my TV reception. That's not complimentary, I wouldn't have thought. That's not very nice.
I love it.
DC Wraparound is sent that one in.
I just got one in when we were talking about the nickname Honey Badger.
Yep.
Good nickname, the Honey Badger. What was Gazy's nickname when you played basketball? What was it?
No, I had a good one. They called me. I feel.
What was it?
I don't even like saying
What
it.
was it?
They called me the Factor.
Well, why?
I don't know. I have to ask the players.
There's another one too they used to call it. What was the other one? Come on.
Oh, the other one was the gift or something like
that. Do you know what?
Something like that.
You and Nick Cummins would have a great chat about it.
you and Nick.
Just talking about yourselves all the time.
No, I didn't make them up. We're not self-proclaimed.
You and Nick, you need to find him and go and have a coffee with him and just turn into a love fest.
No. It was just nice to have nice nicknames.
Very
good. What was yours, Chief?
The gift and the
What was yours, Chief?
None of them complimentary.
Just get out of his road.
No, IDTR, they call me.
Who?
IDTR.
What's that?
I'll do the rest. That's all I got time for. We'll catch you next Wednesday night at 8:30. See you later.
This has been a Fox Footy production for Fox Sports.